How effective can essential oils be in babies and children, especially with breathing conditions? For one mother, the transition from watching her son's every breath in fear to watching him run free was a journey of 13 months and one life-changing discovery. Today, we're hearing a deeply personal story about a miracle baby, a struggle with childhood asthma, and the moment a mother finally found a tool that didn't feel like a compromise. Listen in as Kalli Kenney shares how her son went from 4 daily medications to carrying a bottle of essential oils instead.
Just to give you a little background about myself, my husband and I tried for a lot of years to be able to get pregnant. It was a harder journey for us than most, but I appreciate that time that I got to spend researching and learning more about that process, and possibly it made a bigger impact when we did get to become parents because we had worked so hard for it. And another cool thing about our story is that even though my little boy is adopted and I have never seen a positive pregnancy test of my own, I was able to breastfeed my little boy. And the reason that's such a big deal is because I had to do a lot of research for that, and I had to work really hard to get my body to be prepared for that. And it was beautiful, and it was a great bonding that we have had. And I nursed him for a long time. And 2 weeks after he weaned, and by the way, when I was nursing him, he was perfectly healthy. I think he had had maybe 1 ear infection. But when I did stop nursing, 2 weeks later, we were in the hospital for pneumonia. And at that time, that's when all of his asthma issues and breathing issues kicked in. And for someone who is really a holistic person, always having a garden and growing wholesome organic foods and feeding your baby right out of the garden and breastfeeding and cloth diapering and doing all of those things that are very holistic, to have to resort to medicine and medical intervention, it just felt like a compromise every night. We would give him several different medications a day, 4 total, and we also would have to hook a nebulizer to his face every single day. And truly that felt like a compromise because I felt afraid that if I didn't do that he might suffocate in the night. And I felt like by doing it, that I was compromising because I knew that there would be long-term side effects. And it didn't come without a price. There were many nights that we laid there and watched every single breath that he took. And so at that time, again, we had to add another medication. Through chiropractic care and through essential oils, he is off of every single medication. So chiropractic care is truly a part of our health journey, but also we've been able to completely take away every bit of medication. We no longer have to carry the inhaler anymore. So instead of using an inhaler now, my little boy uses a Respiratory blend essential oil. He drops 1 drop in his hand, rubs his hands together, makes a hand inhaler, we call it, and that is what he uses instead. So anytime he starts to wheeze, which actually is very seldom now, that's what he does. We have not had any asthma attacks in 13 months. And so through the use of essential oils, we finally have a tool which feels like a treasure because we don't have to resort to things that compromise our way of life and our integrity with our child.
It is so powerful to hear the relief in a mother's voice when she finally moves from a place of fear to a place of empowerment. To go 13 months without an asthma attack after years of hospital visits is nothing short of a miracle and a treasure. Before we wrap up, I want to highlight a few pro tips from this story that make these results possible. The power of the hand inhaler. You heard her describe her son placing 1 drop of a Respiratory blend in his palms, rubbing them together and breathing in. This is a simple, effective way for children to receive aromatic support exactly when they feel they need it. Also, notice that she didn't just use oils in a vacuum. She mentioned the combination of chiropractic care and natural solutions working together to support her son's respiratory system. When dealing with respiratory challenges, especially in children, the purity of the oil is non-negotiable. Using CPTG, Certified Pure Tested Grade oils, ensures you aren't introducing synthetic fragrances or chemicals that could further irritate the airways. The Oil Stories podcast is proudly sponsored by EssentialLife.com. Their amazing book and app are like having an essential oil expert in your home and on your phone. If you have a child struggling with a specific health challenge, you can search it in the app and find vetted natural protocols to try immediately. If you have an essential oil win or a cool story you'd like to submit to the podcast, please head to essentiallife.com/podcast. Also, we would love to hear stories of how you're using essential oils and natural solutions to support the little ones in your life. Please share this podcast with your friends and family. We hope this story leaves you inspired to reach for natural solutions first and to try something new today. See you next time.